All right, well, welcome everyone to today's Digital Marketing Social Media Tactics webinar. So my name is Emily Christensen and Lani will be the one presenting today. But just a little bit about our center, the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center. So we are a nonprofit organization who serve businesses. We provide confidential, no-cost advising as well as training for small businesses. Our center specifically serves Shasta and Trinity counties here in Northern California, but there are other SBDCs who service, the United States, kind of wherever you're at. So we'll give you more information at the end of where to contact your local center. But we are also funded by the SBA as well as the state of California through the governor's office. All right, so here's some of our local team. So we have some great advisors, lots of different expertise, startup specialists, HR, QuickBooks, marketing, if you need funding, things like that. We are here to support your small business. All right, and then just a little bit about what we've done in the past couple of years for Shasta and Trinity counties. You can kind of read that up there, assisted with funding, helps people create new businesses, things like that. So again, all of this was for no cost for businesses. And then before we hand it off to Lani, I do have to read this disclaimer. So I'll go and do that real quick. The information provided in this webinar and any supplementary materials provided to registrants are intended for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute professional, financial, or legal advice. No registrant should act or fail to act on the basis of any material contained in this webinar without obtaining proper financial, legal, or other professional advice specific to their situation. The Northern California Small Business Development Center and its host, the Cal Poly Humboldt Sponsored Programs Foundation, specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, professional or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence, directly or indirectly, of the use and application of any of the information presented in this webinar. All right, and then I will hand it over to Lani, who will be presenting today.
Great, thank you, Emily. And just a reminder, if everyone can make sure they're muted, that would be great. Then we will have an opportunity at the end to answer some specific questions. This is me. I am a woman-owned business, LL Consulting. I have 25 years plus working in economic development and downtown revitalization, as well as 20 plus years advising for the Small Business Development Center network across Northern California. I am passionate about small business. I have a small business. I love small businesses. And I'm so excited today to share about social media platforms or tactics. That is a picture of me with my sidekick, Charlie. And if you've been on any of my past webinars, you know that sometimes Charlie is very passionate about a specific topic. He really likes Instagram. And he'll come in and give me a few tips while I'm presenting. So if you hear him, just know that he is sharing what he is passionate about in digital marketing. It's usually the postman, but anyways, I like to give him a little kudos just in case he decides to show up. Now, before I jump into my presentation, we are recording this. You will get a copy of the recording back along with a copy of my PowerPoint presentation with my notes in them. This is a pretty high level. We're going to go across the most popular social media platforms. We're not going to dive deep into the weeds with any of the platforms because this is just an hour presentation, and we go pretty quickly because I could probably do 2 hours on just one feature on one social media platform. Some of you may be beginners with digital marketing. Some of you may be, very seasoned. I know we all have our favorites. We have the ones that really work for our businesses, and we may be wanting to explore new ones. on our YouTube channel, which you'll see at the very end, there are a lot of our webinars that are loaded up on the YouTube channel that you can watch at any time. And many of them take a social media platform like Facebook page or Facebook groups or Instagram or YouTube channel. I haven't done a TikTok yet because I'm not a TikTok girl, but maybe I will be. But you can go and watch those at your leisure and get additional details, additional information, additional training on a specific social media platform that you want to know more about. So with that said, let's start with the social media marketing in general. So it's been around for a long time, for a while. It became very popular, of course, and one of the tools for survival during the pandemic for many businesses. And the popularity matrix for a business to consumer, that's a business trying to reach a consumer. These are the most popular platforms. Doesn't mean that they are any that you are required to use. That's the beauty of social media platforms, is that most of them are at no cost in the beginning to set up, to get going. And then of course, all of them have pay to play or, features like advertising or boosting so that you can then reach more of an audience. But those that are businesses trying to reach your consumer end or your customer, those are of course, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is a place where you can library your videos. Facebook Messenger is a way of directly reaching a specific target market. Pinterest, Snapchat, and Twitter. And of course, I didn't add our favorite new one, TikTok, in there, but there are a number of them out there. Now, if you're looking business to business or B2B, as it's referred to often, and that's networking, of course, we know the king of that is LinkedIn. And then managing your online reputation, which goes hand in hand with any of the social media platforms, are the review sites. Yelp, TripAdvisor, Google My Business provides local business information, and then built in each of the social media platforms is their own review, or as LinkedIn calls them, recommendations. I just like to give this as just something you'll have on hand. I'm not going to go through each of the dictionary, but we start to use some lingo when we're talking about social media platforms. And if there's one thing that drives me crazy, and one thing I learned when I was first started out really doing facilitation, is not to try to use abbreviations or the acronyms that go, that people don't know. And so I'm just putting these here so you can kind of get an idea of what they mean when you see them, like impressions versus reach. What is a hashtag? What's a geotag? So you can read these and just get a little bit more familiar with some of the terms that are used across a lot of the social media platforms. So let's start with the king. Yes, Facebook is still very popular. It is one of the highest, most used social media platforms. And we all have our opinions about Facebook, so we're not going to talk about that today. That's for around the dining room table with your friends and family. But it is now known as Meta, is still on the top of the social media platforms, and it reaches a wide variety of demographics. It was opened up to everyone in 2006. So it's still fairly young, and it has grown hugely, and it is adding and changing all the time a lot of its format, its features, and things that it offers individuals and businesses and organizations and brands and artists and celebrities, the ability to really dig deep into content and share it across it. Now remember, social media platforms are meant to be social, interactive. If you're going to run any social media platform for your business or your organization or your brand, you have to remember it's about engagement, interaction, getting your potential audience, your customers, to engage with your page, with your tweet, with your Instagram post with your TikTok video and share it and watch it. So we want to remember that along. It's unlike a website, which is really your your hub. It's really your digital footprint about your business, and everything comes out from your website. But social media platforms are engaging, meant to have that daily interaction with your potential audience, your target market, your primary, secondary customers, however you want to call them. The demographics is huge in Facebook. People between 25 and 34 years old are the biggest segment of the US users, but baby boomers, or boomers, we're dropping the baby part, are the fastest growing age demographic. And it's interesting that one of the stats, and because we are presenting this in a rural county, that it is the most popular social media site in rural areas. So with that said, what does Facebook offer? Well, you want to think about Facebook and I'm basically talking about it from a business perspective, not your personal profile. Your personal profile is used for family, for sharing personal, for engaging with friends. When we're talking about using it for your organization, for your business, for your brand, we are talking about a public-facing page or group. And you want to use that to really share and bring your customer base and your audience along with you, your daily or your every other day or your weekly journey of your business, sharing educational content, inspirational post work. Live videos are the most engaging. Videos are the most engaging content you can post these days on any social media platform. And that's just, TikTok just really demonstrates the value of that. And so it's information or content, as we call it, tailored to the interest of your followers. So, when I talk about how to share content across any of the social media platforms, you want to think about it at least 3 to 4 times a week, not once a month. If you really want to build a robust social presence on the internet using one of the platforms, you have to share content. And content comes primarily, organic content comes from you. You create it, you post it, or third-party sharing. You maybe have industry stats that you repackage and share on your sites, or you have customer shared content where your customers are tagging you or sharing or reviewing you. So there's not a right or wrong way of content. There's just more effective ways. And the one thing you don't want to continuously do is just share, not create organic content that you are creating by a live video or some photos you've taken, and then you're typing up the narrative. So you want to kind of keep in mind that the organic content is the most engaging, and then you can boost that, or you can pay advertising for that, at least on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of features. They added the shop at the beginning of the pandemic. They have Facebook Live videos. You can go live, or you can just have a video that you've already done and you're putting it on Facebook. Stories are very popular now with Facebook. Groups are incredibly valuable to businesses and organizations. And if the group allows and has, if the administrator of the group has by default allowed a page to join a group, then your page, your Facebook page for your organization or your brand or your business can join that group, and you can interact as that group, as that page in that group. If it just shows your own personal profile when you go to join it, it doesn't pull up your page, then you can't join it. They aren't allowing pages to join. And a lot of times they don't even realize that. So you want to look for those groups that are specific to your industry. If you're a local servicing product-based business, you look for the groups about shop local. If you're medical in the health and wellness, you may want to look for a group that focuses on that topic. And then, of course, Facebook has incredible advertising opportunities, and they offer Facebook Messenger also, which is the direct messages, the DMs, as they're called in the field. Now, Facebook is going through a big transition with their pages, and they're moving the classic pages to a more curated, friendlier, easier way to then follow and have come into your feed all of the pages that you're following as a individual, but now you can follow it as a business with the new page experience. And I've noticed that when I'm looking at Facebook pages, a lot of them are being automatically, Facebook has been going through this for the last couple of months, and it's getting much more robust. So watch for that when it comes to your page. And then, of course, all of the social media platforms have this incredible way to see how you're doing with your page, with your platform. And that is probably the one thing that I think really changed the marketing world when digital was introduced and became much more popular, and the social media platforms started to really become a tactic that businesses incorporated in their marketing plan. Is it gives us the ability to see how we're doing. Where before, with traditional advertising, which I still am a believer in, because if it reaches your market and it's traditional, and traditional I call print, radio, PSAs, radio, television, you really often can't see the impact because you're usually, working with a rep. They put up your ad. You may see the demographics that they're reaching, but you aren't seeing how it's performing in real time. And all of the social media platforms have this ability to look in the back end of your platform and see how it's performing. This is an example of the back end of, I think, my website, which I use a lot for demonstrations. It's not as active as it should be. And some of the insights, and you can, page summary section will give you a quick snapshot of your activity, views, likes, reaches. You can export the data on the top corner to get more detailed results. You can split it with 3 options, and you can export up to 6 months of data at a time in one report. So if you're a data geek and you want to see how you're doing, and you will truly look at the data and be honest with yourself, I need to improve in here, or maybe I'm not, why isn't my page growing? Bring it to the SBDC and we'll dig in there with you and help you get back so you have an active page. Okay, let's talk about Instagram. Yes, it's a product-driven platform. It's owned by Facebook. Facebook has bought it a couple years ago. And you can link your Instagram company profile with your Facebook page, or you can link your personal page, your personal profile Instagram to your personal profile. You want to remember, when we're working with social media platforms that have profiles, personal profiles, and then public facing profiles, pages, company, whatever they call them, you want to make sure that you keep that firewall, as I call it, pretty clear, that you're not posting family and friends and stuff from your profile onto your business page, unless it makes sense. And most of the time it doesn't. So just, be aware of that, and that when you're posting in with the right platform under your right profile. So Instagram is the most popular platforms with millennials and Gen Z. It is much easier with your mobile, of course. You go out there, snap a picture, do a video, load it up right there on your mobile. There is ability on desktop. It's very cumbersome. So if you're going to look at using Instagram as your main social media platform, then you're going to want to make sure you've got, you're comfortable with the mobile. and you have a good mobile, updated mobile device that's taking really great pictures, easy to, snap and go. And that's the one advice that I would say about Instagram. 1 billion people use it every month. A third of them are most viewed stories are from businesses. A lot of businesses use stories. And then if you have your archive setting activated, you can then do highlights, like what these little circles here are for this Instagram from one of our Trinity businesses, Trinity Water Bar up in Trinity County, and they're located in Weaverville. And then she has taken her stories and put them under certain categories. And you would see these. And the stories are really key because when there's a story, there will be a red line around the icon of that Instagram profile, and it means that they have something new. And so people will link on that. And you'll see that they've, are done a live video, or they're putting their story, posting something of current information. Maybe it's a sale, a promotion. You're doing a walk around your location. You're introducing a new employee. Again, content. And then these are I found these stats, and I usually don't post stats right directly in my PowerPoint presentation, but I really like these about Instagram. And, it says 58% of users say they're more interested in a brand after seeing it in a story. And then 81% use the platform to research products and brands. And this is key, because it's so easy on the mobile. You don't have to clunk around your desktop like I do, or my laptop. I don't take my desktop, I take my laptop. And then, search the products. And so right there in your hand, if you're in the area, you on Google My Business, you're looking for that shop or that business. And now you can go to their Instagram and you can start to look in their feed and see their products and services. And then 87% of Gen X agree that Reels, which is longer than your stories, are virtually the same as TikTok short form videos. So businesses are choosing not to start a TikTok, but use more the Reels, which is part of the Instagram platform. So I thought that was an interesting stat. Again, Instagram is all about pictures. It's really great to repackage user-generated content, hashtags to expand the reach. Always want to have a lot of hashtags, not a lot. I'm a believer in no more than 10. You can have up to 30, I think, on Instagram posts, but that gets a little overwhelming. So unless you're really into hashtags, I look at the first 3 and then move on. You can go live with stories. And then of course they have IGTV videos, which are much longer videos, longer than Reels. And then Instagram business profile. We're probably very comfortable with our personal profile, but if you switch over and want to start a business profile, you can have your contact information and link in your bio. You can link your website in your bio, detailed matrix. I already mentioned linking your Instagram account to your business page, shoppable posts in Instagram, and then of course they offer advertising. And we all love insights. So here we go again. They are more limited, and they only they only have 3 really key components: content, activity, and audience. It doesn't go as deep as their parent company, Facebook. Okay, let's talk about YouTube. Love our YouTube channel. There you go. There it is. It's a great resource. It was founded in 2005 by 3 employees who worked at PayPal. And I love to say this. I guess they didn't make enough at PayPal when they sold that. So then they had to start YouTube, which was bought by Google in 2006. And now it's the 2nd largest search engine. And you know about Google, that we use it every day for Google searches. And Google and YouTube is one of the Google families of features or platforms. And you want to remember that YouTube does have the ability now to do a video through YouTube, but it's really about uploading your videos and then categorizing them in playlists, talking about the description of them, giving them a place where your customers can either go to your channel, and I'm going to get into what a branded YouTube channel is. And if you have YouTube videos somewhere that you've uploaded, you want to make sure that you have a branded YouTube channel, have a whole video, a whole YouTube. We have a whole recording on that on our YouTube channel about a YouTube branded channel, because it gives your business the ability to have a little different than your personal YouTube channel. 81% of 15 to 25-year-olds in the US use YouTube. Now, are they using it to know more about your business? Maybe not, unless you're doing a lot of DIYs or short clips of certain things that are of interest to them. But people are spending a lot of time on YouTube. Now, what I like about having videos uploaded on YouTube is it's really easy then to obtain the link to that specific YouTube video that you've uploaded on your YouTube channel. So you can then take that link to that specific video and you can embed it in a post on other Facebook channels. Other social media channels like your Facebook post. You can then also embed it on your website. So you can share it, and then YouTube, it just will automatically, and almost everyone will watch it through their own YouTube channels. So you use it to share, entertain, think about it, teaching, entertaining, DIY videos, that's do-it-yourselves, behind the scenes, product videos, case studies, interviews. For one of my clients that was an organization, and they were a chamber of commerce, they went around and did a lot of videos during 2020 when they prior to the holiday and it was still a lockdown, and or people weren't coming back actually shopping like they were regularly, coming back to more normal. And they interviewed the business owner, did a little video of the shop. The business owner talked about the ways that people could get their products and services. And it was just a really great way to package about 20 businesses in a shop local campaign. Now, you have to take the video, you have to upload it to YouTube, then you have to create the playlist, then you have to push it out. That's the rest of the story, but really very effective and for almost no money but time, right? So your YouTube branded channel is information about your business. You can add links to your website and other social media platforms. You can organize all your videos through your playlist. You can then encourage subscribers with a watermark at the end of your video. So you want to grow your subscribers. And I know once you get 100 subscribers, then you can kind of customize your link to YouTube. Prior to that, it has these long numbers, but you can still use the icon on all of your social media or all of your marketing touch points and put the icon there, the YouTube icon, which is down the corner, and it'll take them right to the YouTube channel. It does have post-production and editing tools. And then, of course, advertising. And we've all seen the advertising on YouTube. It'll pop up during a video. And they have various layers of or types of advertising that you can do on YouTube. So if your audience and you have you're going to be wanting to reach an audience and they're on YouTube, you might want to consider advertising on YouTube, and you can do a pop-up, I don't know if I have it on here. I don't think I do, because I said I wasn't go down that rabbit hole, but you see them when you're watching a video and it'll say, skip the ad, or in 30 seconds, skip this ad. So those are all of the features of the YouTube advertising platform that they give advertisers to do. So you can choose, and you can choose where it's placed at too. Okay, Twitter. Maybe there's some Twitter people out there and like to tweet. Part of all the social media platforms is learning the right terminology. Is it a post? Is it a tweet? Is it a recommendation? Is it a referral? I don't know. But Twitter is a fast moving platform. And it thrives when on the channel when it's very topical about a certain topic and concise. 330 million active monthly users. Americans are the largest percentage of Twitter's user base, and 44% of 18 to 24-old use Twitter. And then tweets with hashtags get 100% more engagement. So if you're going to tweet, you're going to want to make sure you get those hashtags, and they're the ones that are going to then, engage folks to then either follow you or retweet your tweet. I have a 26-year-old daughter, and I find that she's on Twitter much more than she doesn't even do Facebook anymore. She is on Instagram, but she does use Twitter. And I find that she is tweeting about interest in her, like she's in the field of festivals and concerts. And so she's very interested in that, and she'll retweet things about that are upcoming in that genre, in that venue. She follows certain performers. You will see, a lot of celebrities tweet, of course, a lot of tweeting going around certain causes, certain things that are happening politically. A lot of brands tweet. So but anybody can do it, and getting a Twitter account is very easy to do. I run one for a nonprofit that I'm work with, and we usually tweet out much more when we're running a bill at the legislation, and we're wanting to educate our followers and get more people to understand and call their elected officials or whatever the reason thing is about that certain bill. I found Turtle Bay in Shasta County, the exploration park, has a Twitter handle, and they do tweet. And so I just wanted to kind of show you this and I like to show local businesses and organizations when I'm presenting in that specific territory, some examples of what they're doing. And so they were talking about a specific exhibit that they're opening up. And, it's very short, only so many characters. They've tagged a couple, Turtle Bay Park, and then also that they're going to be on KCRA 7, Channel 7. But you can see this is their handle at Turtle Bay Park, a fun nonprofit 300. So you have a little description, and their hashtag is Wonderful Fold. They're in Redding, Turtle Bay, and they have a link to their organization. So again, it gives you a little bit more of a social media presence on the internet. And primarily Twitter is used with mobile, right? It's not a desktop. Again, quick snapshot, pictures, content, tweet it out. So here's what you can think about sharing: news about your destination or your business organization, your brand. Informational content, videos, and then content that aligns with trending hashtags. A whole science goes into tweeting, right? And then private direct messages. We have advertising, customer feedback, Twitter list, and Twitter analytics. So that's Twitter, all in a 2-second explanation. And then of course it has analytics too. Okay, so the analytics you can find, you go to tweet highlights, more analytics. You can look at top tweets, mentions, followers, media. Also gives you a glance at tweets sent, impressions, profile visits, and mentions. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there, and I'm going to mute you for just a minute.
All right, and while we're waiting for Lani to get back, we will provide some information on where you can get more specifics about, the specific social media trainings that we've done before. So we'll send you a link to our YouTube page towards the end of the webinar.
Thanks, Emily. I just had to take care of something that was going on in the side here, side of my office. Okay, the next one is social media is LinkedIn. Now, I am a huge believer in LinkedIn. First, start with a very robust profile about you and your experience and your expertise and all about it. Because remember, LinkedIn is a business to business. It's where you can network with colleagues, network with potential customers that might be interested in your services or your business. And so you want to, first of all, start out with really building out a personal profile. And this is one of them that there is not as clear from your personal profile to your company page or your company profile. The firewall is it's almost non-existent. So there's a lot of crossover. So LinkedIn was launched in 2002 to help business professionals network and connect. And since then, it's grown into a huge hub for brands, companies, and professionals of all types to connect, find talent, and share ideas. So you want to think beyond that. LinkedIn is just about finding a job or getting a job or getting someone to fill a job, right? It's not just about job seekers or businesses needing job seekers. That's still a big piece of their platform, but it's so much more than that. And we really saw it grow in 2020 when the pandemic hit. It was one of the only ways that businesses and organizations could stay connected with their colleagues, with their customers, with their members. Then we, of course, moved into remote. And so it still is a powerful platform, as you can see by these stats. Now, with that said, you can have a personal profile, and then if you have a brand or a business or an organization, you can also create a company profile. And this is the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce. And this is their LinkedIn company page. You can see that you can visit their website. If they have a homepage, they have their website, their phone, company size. So it gives you, again, another presence. I have found it just really depends on your industry, how much you build out the company page. It's really used a lot by professionals, more than just, let's say, service-based businesses or even retail and food and hospitality. It really leans more to the professional type of businesses like lawyers and doctors and practices and consultants. But it doesn't mean you can't have a page about your health and wellness studio. So LinkedIn is to start, like I said, with a robust profile, personal profile. Blog posts are great. Industry news and research, sharing that on your company page. You can write articles actually in LinkedIn. You can provide quick tips, FAQ pages. You can, of course, photos, videos, and company updates. The LinkedIn company features include, you can post a free job. You can invite all of your connections on your LinkedIn site, on your LinkedIn personal profile. We call them connections, not friends, not fans, not likes. You can actually create an event on your company page or company profile and then push that out. You can have your employees link in, and then what they can, will share information about the business on the company page. You can upload a PDF and a PowerPoint. One of the few social media platforms that allow you to upload a PDF, which is really key, because if you're had a study that was just done and conducted, and it's really, really valuable for your industry, or you were the one that did the study, you can upload that white paper, upload that study resource results, as well as have it uploaded on your website too. But if people are doing LinkedIn, you can put it on your company page, and then you can go and post on your profile that you've just uploaded the study that was conducted by your company. And so you can cross promote it that way. And of course it has LinkedIn ads. Yeah. So, and then it has, for the company page, you can look at your analytics. Now, it's interesting too on LinkedIn, you can upload your email contact list. So if you have a contact list from an email marketing program or your own, or you can upload a CVS, that's what it's called, export it from your email list and upload it to LinkedIn, and it'll load it in there, and it'll tell you who is connected to LinkedIn and who isn't. And then that way you can push out an invitation to those folks that are on LinkedIn to start to follow your page or connect with you as a person to person, business to business. So that is a key feature that I like about LinkedIn. Okay, Google My Business, everybody needs to have it, must have it. I know we have a webinar on our YouTube channel about Google My Business. That is, Google My Business, 1 in 3 smartphones search. I already searched twice this morning for something near me. And if you don't pop up and show on that map, that means you're not on Google My Business. It is a powerful search engine. It says 50% of consumers visit a business within a day of conducting a local search. 62% of tablet users and 72% of smartphones users search locally before visiting a store within 5 miles. And if you are a type of business that's catering to a visitor or a tourist market, then when they get into town and they're Googling a restaurant or a retail shop, or I need to get my, tires changed or whatever, if they're doing a road trip, they'll be Googling, find a restaurant near me. If they're staying in a hotel, find a place to eat, find a museum or whatever it is. So you want to remember that Google My Business, that searching for where you're located is great. And then once they go to that and link on to you, then you can have all this information about in your Google My Business listing. You can have photos, videos, reviews, posts, products, display all your social media icons. This is up in the top, up and beyond your phone number, your email, and your right address. With that said, take time tomorrow to go and make sure wherever you're listed, whether your Facebook page is listed or your Pinterest or your Instagram, on your website, on third-party if you're a member of a chamber or an association and they offer a free listing, go check all your links. Make sure that they're still working. What happens when we update websites and when third parties update their websites, sometimes those links don't work anymore. So if you have listed, even on your own website, that you're on Pinterest and people link on it and it doesn't take them to there, or that says this link is broken, you've got some fixing to do. So you want to make sure that, and that's a low-hanging fruit, just to make sure all your social media platforms are working on all 4 cylinders. Google Insights does provide, you can go to your Google My Business app and then tap home, and then you can see some of the insights, the analytics. TikTok, I threw this slide in there. Don't know anything about it. It's my disclaimer, but of course it was founded in 2016. 1 year later, the app became the fastest growing app. 25% of the audience is teenager or younger. Generation Z is big on this. And then I'm seeing people retweet and post it as content on their Twitter or on their Instagram or even in their Facebook pages. So, you know, it is a video, it's short, it's supposed to be entertaining, informational, and pretty easy to start. This is what the page looks like. So you can have a business account, you can create one right away, but again, you got to have the content. You may want to just use and share a couple of TikToks to get used to it and see how your audience reacts to it. But you eventually are going to want to create a TikTok, just like eventually you want to create your own videos, right? Okay, Pinterest, I think we're doing well on time here. Yes, we are. Is the 4th largest social network in US. Now, who would have ever guessed? Among one of the biggest search engines with more than 2 billion searches each month. Well, who's using Pinterest? 8 out of 10 moms are using Pinterest. Think about Pinterest as a big scrapbook where people are pinning on their Pinterest things that they wanted, you know, like maybe ideas about a birthday party or holiday decorating, or what should I wear to a wedding, or big in the wedding industry, big in the flower industry, home decorating, interior decorating, any of those type of businesses. And 85% of pinners, that's what we call them, are on their mobile. Again, cumbersome on the desktop or laptop, definitely a mobile device type of platform. What do you share on it? Family-friendly content, inspiration and tips, guides, and itineraries. See a lot of that. How-tos, you can use carousels. It's like an electronic bulletin board. And then the business features, it is the only social media with visual search. Variety of pins, you can shop the look pins, connect with others, you can create boards, and of course, advertising. And I just posted one on, I'm doing a webinar on preparing a webinar for how to finish the 4th quarter strong. And there was a great one about decorating your storefront, because I was thinking about, you know, retail businesses that have bricks and mortars. And so I went into Pinterest to see what they had. And sure enough, they had some great ideas for holiday window displays. So even as consultants use Pinterest, right? And then of course there's analytics. Last thing I want to talk about is review sites. So in addition to whatever social media platforms you're using, you also want to leverage and expand upon any of the review options they provide you in there. Like LinkedIn has recommendations, Facebook has reviews, Instagram does too, most of them do. You have to ask for them, but you may want to use TripAdvisor if you're in that industry, or Yelp. A lot of restaurants and retailers use Yelp. These Angie's List, I think it's called something different now. That's more for service-based businesses. Foursquare. So I have, my daughter owns a roofing business, and they have, you know, live in a small rural county, and they have a lot, they actually go out and ask for the reviews. They'll actually go to the persons after the roof, because you know a roof is expensive. It's not like you're going and buying something at the dollar store. It's a huge expense. And so referrals and testimonials build confidence in your customer base, build confidence among your business. So they go and actually do a little video, and the person does a testimonial, and then they spread that testimonial. It's listed on their website, they put it in their Facebook, they push it out through their Instagram, and they use that quite a bit to really build that referral and confidence base. But they, you know, again, you have to ask for it, and don't be afraid to have review sites. You know, on your website, you can really control them more, but if you have Yelp or TripAdvisor, You know, she has an Airbnb in addition, and she's had a couple of bad reviews on Airbnb, or some people that had different opinions and had different expectations, right? So you have to deal with those offline. Don't be afraid of them. It's just an eye opener that there's some areas in your business that you might need to improve upon. Okay, to close it down before we have time for some questions, and Emily can then do the last slide with how to contact the SBDC, is that these are kind of a checklist to think about. Sharing content. Try to find one or two of your social media platforms that you really are excited about, you like to do, and you need to share content 4 to 6 times a week. Respond to all comments and direct messages in a timely manner. So that means you have to be on your sites or have a team member or an employee who's going to help manage the social media part of your business, responding, commenting, pushing out content. Monitor brand mentions and industry-related content, very important. Check your analytics, and I said only monthly. And if you're only posting once a month, don't check it, because it's not going to have much activity. But I'm right now for a client running some boosted ads to different parts of the state. And we're getting a lot of action on those boosted ads. And so I'm get a pop-up and I'm checking it and making sure that it's the right audience and that my Facebook page is growing, because that's what we're asking for. Use the scheduling feature that is most of the time available. I think on Instagram you don't have a scheduling feature, but you can take it over to your Facebook page and schedule it that way, or save it as a draft and then come back and post it on the day. You can use a third-party program like Hootsuite, which helps you manage all of your social media platforms across one central place. For Facebook, for all of your Facebook pages and Instagram, you can use Creator Studio. I'm going to go over these next week. Next Wednesday or Thursday, I am doing a webinar on the 25 free to low cost digital tools. And I talk a little bit about these tools. Incorporate hashtags and then shoot videos, photos for the intended platform. And this is a blog that Constant Contact put out about what are the correct pixel sizes, orientation for the various platforms when you're doing videos and photos. Really great resource. And I love to share it with my attendees. Okay. Whoosh. I'm a talking head, I am today, Emily. How are we doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Okay.
Since this is more of an overview, I don't think we have any specific questions.
Okay. Well, I love this one. See, Charlie stuck his foot in there too when we did that one. I don't know, one time I was doing a webinar and Charlie was just out of control, and it was a small little intimate webinar and there's like 5 of us, and they go, oh, bring your dog in. We want to show you our dog. So we all were doing dog sharing and we weren't even on topic, but that was okay. There's the last slide if you want to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, so before I jump on that, looks like we do have one question.
Sure.
So it says, do you need to create a LinkedIn profile in order to create a company page?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, and then I also just put in the chat a survey link. So it'd be great if you could at least click on the link, and then you can fill it out after we're done here. But just let us know how we did today, all of that, and that would help us out. So you can contact us at that information. So that's my email address, phone number, and our website. I'll go ahead and put our YouTube channel here in the chat as well. So that YouTube page is going to have all of our previous recordings that we have listed. So, Facebook specifics, Instagram, other social media stuff as well. So definitely jump on that. And then we're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. So definitely check us out there. So if you're not located in Northern California, we do recommend that you reach out to the Americas SBDC.org to find your local SBDC center. So like I said, there is an SBDC that serves every county in the US, as well as Puerto Rico and Guam, I believe. So yeah, so if you jump on that link, you can do that, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat as well.
Great. And I did see there was one question from one of our attendees about how does advertising on Facebook work? A great question. It works really well if you really dial in what you're wanting to do with it. And Facebook has great tutorials. They have the option, which I use a bit more than I use the actual design your own ads, where you can boost an engaging post or an event. So many organizations that are slowly, well, you can boost virtual events or you can boost in-person events. And so you create an event on your Facebook page, and then you can boost it and you can target your audience. And if you want to reach a specific area, you can go by zip code or city or state, and go by city or county and zip code. And you can go then by interest, by demographics, by work. So you can get it down to where it is looking at the audience that would be most interested in attending your event, whether it's virtual or in person. And then you determine how much you can spend, like $20 over 7 days. And that will go out and it'll reach, which means it dropped into folks' news feeds that meet that specific profile. And then you will, encourage them to, they'll see the event feature. They can go and see more about the event because you have it built out already in your Facebook event. They can say they're interested in going. They're interested in going and saying yes. Then of course, then it becomes a reminder on theirs. Boosting post acts the same way. But then if you want to build more awareness in your shop, and let's say you want to drive people to your website and you want to start advertising your shop, you can then create an ad series campaigns that link to your website commerce site. You post it in Facebook, you do an ad, and it goes out to, again, a specific target market. So it has lots of layers to it. Lots of opportunities. You can spend as little as $5 to as much as you want to. And the thing about Facebook is you control how much you can spend. You have a lifetime, or you can do budget, or you can do a one-time budget. So you can control, change, redirect, stop at any time if you're not getting the right analytics. So again, that's just Facebook. Most of the social media platforms have a lot of those same bells and whistles. I just answered that question. Okay, well, I will say goodbye and let you say goodbye, Emily, and till next week.
All right, yeah, thank you all for joining us today. I did put a link to register for next week's webinar if you wanted to join us for that. And yeah, we'll send you a link to the recording and the handout in the next couple of business days.
Okay, and thank you, Emily. You did a great job. Even I have to tell Mr. Walker that, you really did a great job. Okay, I'll see everybody next week, and thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys.